All right, folks, you are watching the Cowboys Report here live on the Dallas Cowboys Report channel on YouTube. We're doing our live Q&A, so keep those questions coming. Use hashtag Cowboys in the comments section. Producer Alicia's bring them up here on the show for you guys today. Next up from doing country stuff and then some, what a great username, is Gallup Dez Bryant 2.0. I don't think so. I don't think that's a fair comparison in terms of expectations or even play style. Dez was a big-bodied receiver. He was not more of a route runner, kind of average athlete guy that Gallup is, and that's not a bad thing, by the way, because Gallup's a good athlete. But I don't think a Gallup and Bryant comp is very fair. From Fernando, who is faster, Cobb or Michael Gallup? Now, it's a little bit tricky because Randall Cobb is a little bit older, but don't forget when Randall Cobb came out of Kentucky, he ran a 4.6 40-yard dash. Now, I don't think he's as fast as he once was, but Gallup wasn't the same burner. Gallup was a 4.51 guy. So I think at this point in their careers, they're pretty similar. Assuming Cobb is healthy, I still am going to leave more towards Randall Cobb on that front, but both those guys are by no means slow. Alan Williams, how many touchdowns receptions will Amari Cooper have this year? Good question. I will set the over-under here. He had 6 for the Cowboys last year. He's never surpassed 7 in a career. But I'll put the over-under at 7. I think that's a good number there. I'll put it at 7, and I hope it's over, but the Cowboys don't throw it a ton relative to the rest of the NFL, so maybe the over-under should be more like 6.5. But I think in that range there for the Cowboys kind of makes the most sense. From Khurram, will Dak Prescott earning $30 million a year put the Cowboys in a cap situation hit? I think you mean bad cap hit. It won't. I mean, it does kind of negate your ability to really spend in a big way in free agency. But in 3 years or even 2 years, Dak's not going to have a top 10 cap hit among quarterbacks. It's going to be like the Derek Carr contract for the Raiders. It's really not that bad. I know there's sticker shock there, but it's not going to put them in a bad cap hit. Now, look, at some level, you can't afford every single player. That is the nature of the NFL. But for Dak, it's the right move for the Cowboys. All right, from Marvin Fulks, that's an easy name to mispronounce, that last name there. Do you think the Cowboys are better now on paper than last year? Yeah. I mean, what position did they get worse at? David Irving didn't play last year, so it's not DT. Quarterback should be the same or better. Same with the backfield. Same with receiver. Tight end is pretty neutral. Offensive line should be the same and frankly better with Frederick coming back. Same with D-line. Linebacker's the same, if not better. Corner's the same. Secondary's the same. So I don't think they got worse at any one spot. Now, I'll make note here. Progression A isn't always linear, especially when it comes to wins and losses. The Cowboys could have a better team and still have the same mark because the schedule is tougher, which might be the case this year for the Cowboys. Alan says he just subscribed. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. Go tell your friends. And if you're watching and haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Right there, bottom of your screen, youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. Fernando Gonzalez. Is MJ, I assume you mean Michael Jackson, guaranteed a roster spot since Rashard likes him so much? I don't know about guaranteed. I think he's safe. So like in terms of my rankings, there's guaranteed / lock, there's safe, there's bubble, there's doubtful, and there's no chance. I think he's in that safe spot because you have Byron, you have Chido, you have Jourdan, you have Anthony Brown. You probably want to carry at least 5 guys this year. I think Jackson makes the most sense of those 5 guys. NJ Fresh, this is a good one here. This is not my call. Producer Brett, or assistant, let me know what you think here. Can you send an autographed Tom Downey Dallas Cowboys shirt to the best question today? Brett, what do you say? Boss man Brett, thumbs up or thumbs down? He's giving me this one. Now, okay, he's gone up. So I guess we can make that happen then. So there you go, NJ Fresh. So appreciate that one, man. All right, Marco Jew. I'll let the guys behind the scenes decide the best question, by the way. Or Marco, what addition to the roster is going to have the most impact in the end zone? Probably Randall. No, it's probably Witten. I thought about Cobb, but I'm going to go with Witten there. He just gets open, Like, I don't know how. He's 37 years old. Before he retired, somehow gets open is like the best way to describe Jason Witten at this point in his NFL career. From Diehard Cowboys fan, how many points per game will the Dallas Cowboys average with Kellen Moore as the OC? Over-under is 26.5. I think that's kind of the general range there. And that's still going to be top half of the NFL or around top half of the NFL. Remember, the Cowboys are going to run the ball more than most, which means less plays, less overall scoring for both the Cowboys and the teams they play against. Stephen Petty, did the Cowboys get a good safety? I mean, I think Donovan Wilson isn't bad, but if you're talking about good as in starting, maybe that's George Iloka. But in terms of like the big name guy that I know many of us wanted, didn't happen this year. All right, from Young Broker, if Dak was to go down, do you think it would be best to stick with our current backups or go out and get someone like Brissett or Hundley? Well, first off, Brett Hundley's garbage, so I don't want him. Here's the issue, and this is a good question, and I actually like this one quite a bit. If Dak goes down, Cooper Rush and Mike White aren't going to get it done. As Tom Moore likes to say, they don't practice effed, and the Cowboys aren't going to practice that way. That's why those guys don't get much reps. But if you're going after Jacoby, are you going to give up, let's just say, a second-round pick, best-case scenario, for 1 year of a quarterback? I don't think that's a good idea. So, as weird as it sounds, if Dak Prescott gets hurt, the answer is to just tank and say because it's a lost year at that point. All right, folks, if we don't get to your question, first off, I'm sorry. We know there are so many out there. DM me on Twitter or tweet me at Twitter. It's at WhatGoingDowney. We'll get to your questions on there if we don't get to yours today. So feel free to tweet me any questions you have on the Cowboys at WhatGoingDowney. From Isiah, how do you feel about Donovan McNabb's comments? Just give me a second here. McNabb's a clown. He is not good. He's wrong. Look, if you want to compare stats, you have to adjust for the era. McNabb versus Aikman, two totally different eras. The passing game has evolved so much since then. And beyond that, McNabb is not a Hall of Famer. Tony Romo has a better claim to Hall of Fame than McNabb. Like, McNabb is not worthy of the Hall of Fame, plain and simple. All right, JC Cruz, what spot will Tony Pollard be at the most? I almost said return, which I think is a decent answer, but running back is where he's going to play the most. Now, he might split out wide some, but he's going to be a running back for the most part. All right, Michael Caldwell, who do you see on a long-term deal? Anthony Brown, Lael Collins, and or Malik Collins? What if the answer is none of them? Because Brown and Collins, and both Collinses, both fall into the same category there of these are quality players, but these are not the top-end players that you want to throw big money at. Anthony Brown, if it was like he did last year, he's going to get like $8 or $9 million a year. Lael Collins, probably going to get more than that, maybe in the 11 or 12 range. I don't know about Malik Collins, but if he's healthy, who knows? And they just drafted his replacement in Tristan Hill. So those are the guys, more so than a Byron or a Jaylon in particular, that I think are going to end up getting squeezed because you just can't pay everybody, and it's a good problem to have. From Pablo, I've been told that when people get married, they die slowly. How do you feel so far? Good question. I feel fine so far. No big fights, no big arguments, so things are going well so far, Pablo. I appreciate your question there. All right, from Christopher, over/under Dak 35 total touchdowns this year. I'm going to again include rushing, which I think is what you meant there. Give me the under. He's had about 30 each of the past 3 years. I think that's a good over/under. 35. If things go right, I'll be really happy. That's a really good number there. But I'll take the under 35. Put the over/under for myself there at 35 at 30. All right, from Zilly TV, do you think Jourdan Lewis will get a fair chance under Chris Richard? Honestly, not unless there's injuries. Look, Jourdan Lewis does not fit their thresholds, as Jason Garrett said recently. The Mendoza line, he's under the Mendoza line for size. Cheeto and Byron and Anthony Brown all fit it more, so does Michael Jackson. So they'll use Lewis, but my free hashtag Jourdan Lewis campaign, I think, requires one of two things. And I hate to say this, honestly. Injuries or a trade, neither of which I want to see happen to the Cowboys. From Gerrod Bird, do you see Quinn at least giving us 6 sacks this season? Okay, now I like this number. I like this number a lot more for Quinn because it's far more realistic. Robert Quinn, for the most part, has been a 6-sack guy. Now, there were injuries in 2010 and in 2016 and 2015 that limited him there. 6.5 last year, 8.5 previously. I think, yes, he gets you 6 sacks this year. And if so, that's a good production there for $8 million. That's good value for the Cowboys. From Ronnie, what are your injury concerns, or what are your concerns with Awuzie's injury? Not much. And it's a hip flexor. I think he'll be fine. I'm not going to panic about it. I'll monitor it, but it's kind of like the Leighton Vander Esch one. Check back in with me in camp if he's still hurt with the same injury. Then I'll be concerned, but I think the Cowboys are just being cautionary, as they should be. All right, from Buddy, longtime watcher here. Who do you got at slot corner, Jourdan or Michael Jackson? I'm going to go with Anthony Brown, if assuming both guys are healthy to start the year. But if, let's say, Byron misses week 1 or there's an injury, I think it's Jourdan and then Michael Jackson. But Jackson has done some stuff from the slot in OTAs. I think that's a good idea for the Cowboys. He does bring more size there than Jourdan Lewis or Anthony Brown do. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.